Imagine two people walking into the exact same dealership. They choose the exact same car, same color, same features, same day. A week later, one of them drives away after paying almost $2,000 less than the other. How is that possible? Did one person negotiate better? Did one get lucky? Not exactly. The biggest difference happened before either of them even started talking about the price. One buyer walked in and proudly said, "I'm paying cash." It sounded smart. It sounded responsible. It sounded like something wealthy people do. But those 5 words quietly changed the entire negotiation. Because at most dealerships, the car sitting on the lot isn't the only thing being sold. Sometimes, it's not even the most profitable product. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden business model behind car dealerships, why cash isn't always king, and how understanding simple incentives can save you thousands of dollars. Welcome to Wealth Logic, the story. Let's meet two buyers. We'll call them Daniel and Michael. Both have done their homework. Both have excellent credit. Both want the exact same sedan. Daniel walks into the dealership with one goal: get the lowest purchase price possible. Michael walks in with a different goal. He wants everyone to know he's paying cash. To Michael, paying cash feels powerful. No debt, no monthly payments, no bank involved. He believes the salesperson will immediately respect him. Instead, something unexpected happens. The salesperson smiles. They shake his hand. They ask a few questions. But behind the scenes, the negotiation has already changed. Not because Michael did anything wrong, but because he accidentally removed one of the dealership's biggest opportunities to make money. What most buyers never realize. When most people think about buying a car, they imagine one simple transaction. Dealer sells a car, customer pays. Dealer earns profit. Sounds simple, but that's rarely how modern dealerships operate. Think about it this way. Imagine a movie theater. Do movie tickets make money? Yes. But popcorn, soft drinks, and candy usually produce much larger profit margins. The ticket gets you inside. The snacks make the business profitable. Many dealerships work in a surprisingly similar way. The vehicle attracts customers. The financing, insurance products, warranties, and service plans often generate a large share of the profit. That's why dealerships care about how you pay almost as much as what you buy. Why financing is so valuable. Let's imagine you're the dealership owner. If someone finances through your dealership, several things can happen. The lender may compensate the dealership for arranging the loan. The buyer may purchase an extended warranty, maybe gap coverage, maybe maintenance plans, maybe wheel protection, maybe service contracts. Each decision creates another opportunity for profit. Now imagine a customer walks in and immediately says, "I'm paying cash." From the dealership's perspective, many of those opportunities disappear before the conversation even begins. Suddenly, almost all of the profit has to come from one place: the selling price of the vehicle. That completely changes the negotiation. The psychology behind it. Here's where human psychology makes this even more interesting. Many buyers believe saying, "I'm paying cash," signals strength. It feels like confidence. It feels successful. It feels like you're in control. But businesses don't negotiate based on emotion. They negotiate based on incentives. If your decision removes future profit opportunities, the seller naturally becomes less flexible on today's price. That's not personal, it's business. Understanding this changes everything. Because the smartest negotiator isn't always the loudest person in the room. It's usually the person who understands what the other side actually wants. And once you understand that, you stop negotiating against people. You start negotiating with incentives. Transition. So if revealing you're paying cash too early can weaken your position, where exactly does the dealership make all this hidden money? The answer isn't on the showroom floor. It's behind a small office door that almost every buyer walks into, without realizing it's the most profitable room in the entire building. So where does the dealership really make its money? Most buyers would point to the showroom floor. Rows of shiny new cars, bright lights, salespeople greeting customers. It feels like that's where the business happens. But in reality, the most profitable room is usually much smaller. It's the office you enter after you've already agreed on a vehicle, the finance office. And that's where the game changes. The room that changes everything. At first, the conversation is simple. What model are you interested in? What color do you prefer? Would you like to test drive it? Everything feels relaxed. But after you agree on a vehicle, someone walks you into another office. The atmosphere changes. The desk is smaller. The paperwork gets thicker. And suddenly, the questions are different. How would you like to pay? Would you like to finance? Would you like extra protection? What monthly payment feels comfortable? Many buyers think the deal is already finished. In reality, an entirely new negotiation has just begun. The hidden business model. Imagine a restaurant. You order a meal. Then you're offered drinks, dessert, premium sides, and coffee. The restaurant isn't forcing you to buy anything, but every extra item increases the total profit. The finance office works in a similar way. The vehicle may start the conversation, but financing and optional products often increase the value of the sale. That's why the finance office is so important. It's not just processing paperwork, it's another business inside the dealership. Why monthly payments can be misleading. Now here's where many buyers lose control. The salesperson stops talking about the total price. Instead, they ask, "What monthly payment are you comfortable with?" That sounds like a helpful question, but it changes your focus. Instead of thinking, "How much does this car actually cost?" you start thinking, "Can I afford this payment?" Those are two completely different questions. A lower monthly payment can sometimes hide a longer loan, higher interest costs, extra products rolled into financing, additional fees. Everything feels affordable until you calculate the total amount paid over the life of the loan. That's why experienced negotiators always separate the conversation. First, agree on the purchase price. Only then discuss financing. The add-on avalanche. Once financing begins, more offers usually appear. Extended warranty, maintenance plan, wheel protection, paint protection, roadside assistance, insurance products. Some of these products may provide value depending on your situation. Others may not. The important point is this. Almost every item is another financial decision. Many buyers feel uncomfortable saying no. After all, they've already spent hours negotiating. They're tired. They just want to drive home. That's exactly when emotional decisions become easier and profitable. The dealer's point of view. Let's switch perspectives for a moment. Imagine you own the dealership. You have two customers. Customer A may finance the vehicle. Customer B says they're paying cash before negotiations even begin. Which customer gives your business more opportunities? Customer A. That doesn't mean the dealership dislikes cash buyers. It simply means one customer creates more possible revenue than the other. Businesses respond to incentives, not emotions. That's why understanding the business model gives you an advantage. You're no longer guessing. You're seeing the negotiation from both sides of the table. The cash buyer penalty. This leads to something many people never expect. Cash itself isn't the problem. Timing is. When you reveal your payment method too early, you accidentally reduce your own negotiating flexibility. The dealership knows one thing immediately. Future financing profit is probably gone. Now the selling price becomes much more important to them. That doesn't guarantee you'll pay more, but it can reduce the dealer's willingness to discount the vehicle. Your leverage quietly becomes smaller before you've even discussed numbers. The clipboard test. Here's a simple way to recognize what's happening. Imagine walking into a dealership. Before discussing the exact vehicle price, someone asks, "Will you be financing? What's your monthly budget? Are you trading in your current vehicle?" Notice what's happening. The conversation is moving toward how the deal will be structured before you've established what the car is actually worth. Think of this as the clipboard test. If payment methods become the center of the conversation before the purchase price is settled, the dealership is trying to understand your profit profile. The negotiation becomes much easier to understand because now you know what information they're looking for and why they're asking. So, if revealing you're paying cash too early can reduce your leverage, what should you actually do instead? Is financing always the better option? Not necessarily. The smartest strategy isn't about choosing cash or financing. It's about understanding when to reveal your decision. how to negotiate the vehicle price first, and how to make the dealership's own incentives work in your favor. That's exactly what we'll break down next. Every financial decision asks the same question. Are you buying status or are you buying freedom? Status impresses strangers. Freedom changes your future. One disappears after a few moments. The other compounds for decades. That's why wealthy people often ask a different question than everyone else. Instead of asking, how does this make me look? They ask, how does this affect my net worth? That tiny shift changes almost everything. Let's go back to where we started. Two buyers, same dealership, same vehicle, different outcome. Not because one was smarter, not because one negotiated harder, because one understood how the business actually worked. That's the lesson. The biggest financial advantages rarely come from secret tricks. They come from understanding incentives. Every business has them. Every negotiation has them. And once you learn to recognize them, you stop reacting emotionally. You start thinking strategically. So the next time you walk into a dealership, remember this. Don't negotiate with your ego. Negotiate with logic. Don't confuse confidence with leverage. Don't confuse appearance with wealth. And don't assume paying cash automatically gives you the strongest position. Because in personal finance, the goal isn't to look wealthy. The goal is to become wealthy. And that happens one smart decision at a time. If this video changed the way you think about buying a car, subscribe to Wealth Logic. Every week, we uncover the hidden math, hidden psychology, and hidden incentives behind the financial decisions that shape your future. Because once you understand how the system really works, you stop playing the game. You start winning it. Every financial decision asks the same question. Are you buying status or are you buying freedom? Status impresses strangers. Freedom changes your future. One disappears after a few moments. The other compounds for decades. That's why wealthy people often ask a different question than everyone else. Instead of asking, how does this make me look? They ask, how does this affect my net worth? That tiny shift changes almost everything. Let's go back to where we started. Two buyers, same dealership, same vehicle, different outcome. Not because one was smarter, not because one negotiated harder, because one understood how the business actually worked. That's the lesson. The biggest financial advantages rarely come from secret tricks. They come from understanding incentives. Every business has them. Every negotiation has them. And once you learn to recognize them, you stop reacting emotionally. You start thinking strategically. So the next time you walk into a dealership, remember this. Don't negotiate with your ego. Negotiate with logic. Don't confuse confidence with leverage. Don't confuse appearance with wealth. And don't assume paying cash automatically gives you the strongest position. Because in personal finance, the goal isn't to look wealthy. The goal is to become wealthy. And that happens one smart decision at a time. If this video changed the way you think about buying a car, subscribe to Wealth Logic. Every week, we uncover the hidden math, hidden psychology, and hidden incentives behind the financial decisions that shape your future. Because once you understand how the system really works, you stop playing the game. You start winning it.